So let's take a closer look at the Satoshi Nakamoto trials coming up in January, which is going to be the Copa, which stands for Copa is a cryptocurrency open patent alliance. It's a nonprofit company of like-minded individuals who formed an association of people that want to prevent patents from being allowed in cryptocurrency platforms. They believe that there's some bad actors out there that are applying for patents, and those patents, there should be no barrier to entry for members, including small companies or large companies. And so these patents are a threat to the operation of Copa. Now, Copa was started, looks like, by Square, and then Coinbase signed on among 30 other companies, major, well-known companies. Now, one of the very interesting and unique correlations here with the Copa filing and Coinbase being signed on is the initial Coinbase public offering. What it says here is one of the risks to investors when they first did their IPO was the identification of Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous person or persons who developed Bitcoin, or the transfers of Satoshi's Bitcoins. So this Copa, this Copa alliance was formed after the Coinbase public offering. Now, this suit was initiated, sometime in 2022. It looks like it's been ongoing. 2020 could have been earlier this year. It's 2022. They started joining the suits together, and so what's interesting is that they are suing. They're suing Satoshi, who's undisputably, there's really no other, more likely than not, the guy who is Satoshi or was the team of Satoshi, if nothing else, a team of people who knew Satoshi, if nothing else. I mean, right along on those lines, they're suing him and they're trying to prevent him from using the name, from stopping them from using the name Bitcoin. That's actually on the cross complaint, but they want the patents to be nullified. They want to be no ability to have patents over the cryptocurrency, over Bitcoin. And one of the things that's already been done is it's like some odd 300 or 400 patents have already been issued to N-Chain and the Satoshi team. So, I don't know how a UK court can overrule US patents. It's really, really the UK stuff out here, is definitely new to me in reading this stuff. So it's in how their procedures work is relatively new. It's going to take a lot more reading to understand how they've got this high court judgment that just came out this last couple of weeks. And it's very unusual for me to see a high court judgment in the middle of a case. So I can't really comment on what I believe this even, the effect of it is, but it appears that what happened is that they ruled in the recent high court judgment that the defendant, Dr. Wright here, is enabled to bring forward his disability, which is Asperger's or autism. They also allowed him to bring forward experts. So they struck the motion in Lemonade, which is like a motion which would prevent evidence from being used at trial. And so the court's going to allow those experts to come forward. Now, I saw an article here from Forbes that says that there was a judgment already issued on the copyright claims. I can't seem to find that. So this judgment does not say anything about the copyright claims already being adjudicated. So that would be interesting to find out if that portion of the lawsuits have already been dismissed. But it's hard to find. So that being said, this case, regardless, is possibly the biggest financial court case in our recent history. So it's going to bring forward these giant multinational companies, Coinbase, who's got this, being one of them under Copa, who's saying that one of their big risks in their public offering is the identity of Satoshi. Now, this lawsuit will could identify in law Satoshi. Now, that's one of the things that will be determined. So if Copa loses, then Satoshi will be identified. Now, that could be a huge risk according to their initial IPO. So that's why they're involved in this. And so it'll be, this is an interesting case. I'm considering, how I can add value to it after meeting with David, Mia, and Xiaowei Lu last night and having a big steak dinner. They really, really motivated me to bring in my, narrative on law and legal experience into the, blend it into how to review this case in Bitcoin, because it seems like law and people who understand law and Bitcoin are very, very, very unusual, very rare. And that's two strengths that I mean, in the way of development, no, I can't say I understand the development of Bitcoin, but I definitely understand the fundamentals, and I've been in it long enough since 2016 and understanding and getting deep into the narratives, definitely on the storyline and then the use case, and what's really going on in the facts and how it's being utilized and functions, and then definitely the court side, at least in the United States. Now, this UK stuff is going to be a little bit of a different story. So now, all right, so that's really kind of just a preview as to what's going on here in the Copa versus Satoshi trials. So stay tuned, keep posted. This is Gavin Mehl. It's a short video on here. I got my Hard Rock Cafe in London shirt on. Freaking really a nice one here. London, I got that my last trip out there. When I met Satoshi for the second time, I say Satoshi because I believe there's no question in my mind there's anybody else that's Satoshi but him. I mean, all the facts that I've seen and everything lines up. So, and why would these guys be suing him if they didn't think he was Satoshi or a threat? Okay. And it's quiet. This case is quietly going on in the background. It's quietly happening in the background while the small media, the nobody media, people like me that, are the only ones talking about it. I mean, there was like a little thing in Forbes, but it didn't seem accurate. And so just the small, probably independent media is going to cover this stuff, even though these giant companies are involved, suing for what's called the issuance rights. Were there issuance rights for Satoshi? Did he have issuance rights? So this will be a really interesting time coming up. There was a great interview with Jack Pitts and Kurt Walker Jr. on the CoinGeek channel. So check that out if you want to really, really know more. That just happened this week. This is Gavin Mehl. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.